Hello viewers, this is Just Fact Network TV, a place where you can get the latest information about Nigeria news and all the news in details. Police comb Magun's house after suspension, returned to custody. Allegations against the Efcc boss too weighty to be ignored. NBA backs probe, says anti-graft agency's chair not above the law. Some policemen attached to the Force Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department on Tuesday searched the home of the suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, Ibrahim Magun. Also on Tuesday, the Justice Ayo Salami Presidential Panel, which interrogated Magun on Monday over allegations of corruption, again quizzed the suspended EFCC boss. The suspended EFCC boss, who was detained by the police after Monday's interrogation, was returned to the police custody at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday. But earlier at 6 p.m., policemen searched Magun's house, located at Abdul Street, Karu site on the outskirts of Abuja, and made away with vital documents. The policemen who carried out the search were said to be the same one who arrested Magun on Monday. A police officer who confided in the Punch said on Tuesday evening a team of policemen stormed the home of Magun in Karu. And that is the house where Magun used to live before he moved to Matama after his appointment as EFCC chairman. The policemen made away with some items, and everything will be processed as investigations continue. Magun spent second night in police custody. It was learned that at 8:30 p.m., Magun was driven from the old banquet hall of the presidential villa venue of the panel sitting back to the Force Criminal Investigation Bureau, where he passed the night on Monday. Yes, Magun has returned to police custody. He left the venue of the panel sitting at 8:30 p.m. and was driven back to the same police facility where he was detained on Monday, a source told one of our correspondents on Tuesday evening. Buhari suspend Magun. The Punch gathered that before the presidential panel resumed its sitting on Tuesday, the president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, had suspended Magun. It was gathered that Magun was suspended to allow the Salami panel do its job without interference from the EFCC boss. Magun was accosted by security agents in front of the old EFCC headquarters on Formella Street, Wuse 2, Abuja, at noon on Monday and taken to the presidential villa where he was quizzed by the panel for 6 hours over 24 allegations. The Punch on Tuesday reported that most of the allegations against Magun emanated from a report by the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami's son, and a report of the Department of State Services which was submitted to the Senate in 2016 and 2017. Among others, the suspended EFCC boss was accused of living above his means, fraternizing with corrupt persons, and diverting recovered funds. When the panel resumed sitting at noon on Tuesday at the old banquet of the presidential villa, Abuja, like what happened on Monday, security operatives stopped State House reports from gaining access into the venue. Confirming Magun's suspension, a source told the Punch, it is commonsensical that when an investigation of this nature is ongoing, you don't allow the persons being investigated to keep the keys of the office for which he is being investigated. This is because if he keeps the key, there can be a kind of tampering with documents or evidence. It is not logical and it is even undemocratic to allow such to happen. The president has yet to issue a formal statement on the issue at the time of filing this report. Meanwhile, there are strong indications that the Director of Operations at the Anti-Graft Commission, Abba Mohammed, may take over the affairs of the agency pending the appointment of Magun's replacement. A source said Deputy Commissioner of Police Mohammed, who is the Director of Operative, is expected to take over the running of the Efcc in acting capacity, pending the appointment of a replacement for Magun. Meanwhile, pressure groups have been reportedly positioning various candidates for the Efcc top job. The Punch learned that some people had been pushing for the appointment of a former commissioner of police who arrested some politicians during the 2019 election in the Northwest. Meanwhile, a top government official on Tuesday said the various allegations leveled against Magun was too worthy to be ignored. The official, who spoke on the conditions of anonymity because he was not directed to address the press, said under the regime of Buhari nobody was above scrutiny. He said whoever occupied an elevated position such as that of the EFCC chairman must be above suspicion. The government official said the panel investigations allegations against the acting EFCC's chairman had been sitting for some weeks now. Under the Muhammadu Buhari administration, nobody is above the law. I repeat, nobody. The investigation is to reinforce transparency and accountability rather than to vitiate them. Probing Magu is in order. He is not above the law, NBA says. The Nigerian Bar Association on Tuesday supported the probe of Magu over the graft allegations. The National Publicity Secretary of the association, Mr. Kunle Edun, who said this while responding to the Punch request for the NBA positions on Magu's probe, warned that Magu's rights must not be violated. He said an integral component of the rule of law is that no one is above the law. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the cleaner on the street are equal before the law. It is only in a situation where there is an obvious lack of democracy and constitutionalism that we see deviations from these established democratic ethos. We have seen a lot of such deviations in Nigeria, and this is why it is surprising to some Nigeria that the arrest of the EFCC chairman is a big deal. No, it should not be, because he is also subject to the law. Everyone occupying public office should be ready to give account whenever called upon, provided it is not a witch hunt. The only admonitions that the NBA will give is that Ibrahim Magu must be accorded all his fundamental rights as a Nigerian and presumed innocent until otherwise found guilty of whatever allegations made against him by a competent court. He must not be detained beyond the limits set by the Constitution. As the NBA President Paul Usoro has said in several fora, if you take care of the rule of law will take care of you one day. Serap urges fairness in Magu's probe. Also, the anti-corruption advocacy group, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, called for fairness in the probe of corruption allegations against Magu. In a statement titled Nigeria, authorities must treat Magus fairly, issued on Tuesday by its Deputy Director Kolawole Oludare, Serap said it was concerned by reports that Magus probe might be a fallout of the power play at the highest level of government. On its part, the coalitions of public interest lawyers and advocates said Magu should be fired as he had failed an objectivity test. The national coordinator of COPA, Pelumi, said this in a statement issued in Abuja on Tuesday titled, Mr. Ibrahim Magu, acting EFCC chairman, is now a liability to the image of Nigeria and its government anti-corruption war. Meanwhile, the chairman Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, Professor Itis Sage, on Tuesday distanced himself from a statement defending Magu. Sage, who is known to be an ardent supporter of Magu, said this while reacting to a statement by a member of the committee, Professor Femi Odekunle, in a statement titled Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, has not released an official statement with regard to the acting chairman of EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, issued by PACA Communication Officers. Agogo Agbaho, Sage Sage said Odekunle spoke for himself. The attention of the chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption has become drawn to a statement circulating in the media space credited to one of its members, Professor Femi Odekunle. The press release is the personal opinion of the members under whose name it was released, and not that of the committee. If the committee, consistent with its mandate, has any view on the matter, it will be channeled to the president and not to the media. Wow, so guys, you've heard it. The case of Magu is becoming worse and worse in every day. You can imagine this, But the reality is that Magu interfered with the affairs of the recharge card boy, who is said to worth several billions, proceed of gifts, and is under the protection of a powerful cabals? Is that the reason? Because we don't know. Because with the look of things, it shows that this is getting more serious and more serious every day. People were even saying that after Buhari has collected Abacha's loot from Magu, he ended throwing in prison because he sees evidence of Magu's successes. They said, our country is very funny. So DSS arrest Efcc chairman for fraud. Is God not wonderful? I beg, how are we going to settle this matter now? Wow. Just like what I said earlier, if truly Magu is not into corruption, definitely it will escape through from all this problem. But if truly he is into corruption, definitely it will be detained for his wrongdoing. So guys, what is your own take about this? What do you think? Your comment is highly appreciated, and kindly drop your comment in the comment section. For those who subscribe, we want to say a very big thank you to you for subscribing. We'll say God bless you. Bye.